Five Nights at Freddy's. Where do I even begin? We all know it at this point. Some people love it, and some people hate it. And from the looks of it, it seems like you guys really love it. I mean, just look at my highest ranked videos. So, by popular demand, and I mean really popular demand, like holy, it wasn't even close, I present to you set number 71042, the Five Nights at Freddy's CMF Series 2. The series would include 12 characters from the game, based on sister location, with a few exemptions from FNaF 2. So, with all that said, let's go deep below ground where memories sleep. Now, if I'm being honest, there just aren't enough characters in sister location to fill out a minifigure series. So, I had to throw in some characters I missed out on in my last video. Like Withered Freddy. He's low-key one of my favorite animatronic designs in the franchise. Something about the messed up eyes captures that cute yet creepy vibe Chuck E. Cheese always gave me. Freddy would use normal legs, with some printing for his holes and wires, as well as some simple arm printing representing the same thing. This along with a new head mold with his goofy odd jaw. Like seriously, this man's got some crazy chompers, using the official microphone piece as his accessory. Now, like with the other FNaF bids, I made alternate styles for all the figures with their normal looking eyes. As I know, some of you guys prefer them this way. Don't have anything else to say about this, I just really like the way the figure looks. Talking about my favorites, next up we have Withered Bonnie. I love the missing face. Being able to see his endo is metal AF and I love it. Bonnie would also use normal legs, with printing for his holes and wires, with his right leg being dual molded to represent his missing foot. This along with some matching hip and torso printing for his stomach, and simple arm printing to match with the legs, using the same arm wire piece from my ruined Withered Chica figure to represent his missing arm, as well as a new head mold with his missing faceplate. Finally, here's what he would look like with normal looking eyes. At the end of the day, I think I was able to recreate his character really well. Thinking about it, most of these FNaF 2 Withered designs are pretty solid. Like, Scott did not have to go this hard.
Someone cooked here.
Chica would use dual molded legs, with some printing for her toes and holes. This along with some simple arm printing, representing the same thing. She would use a new handpiece for the wires pouring out of her arms, and another new head mold with her detached jaw. Lastly, here's what she would look like with normal looking eyes. Even if the head looks a little off, I'm still really proud of the final figure. For the last member of the band, we got Withered Foxy. Honestly, one of the most tedious figures I've had to design. Well, apart from this one figure you'll see later on. Foxy would use dual molded legs, with some printing for his tattered shorts and endo. This along with some arm printing representing the same thing, and the official hook piece on his left arm, as well as a new head mold with his missing ear. Finally, here's what he would look like with normal looking eyes. Even if that endo ear took forever to draw, I'm proud of how he came out looking. For the last character before we move on to sister location, we have Withered Golden Freddy. You know the drill at this point. He's just a Freddy recolor with a couple of changes, having normal legs with printing for his holes and wires, as well as some simple arm printing representing the same thing, using a modified Withered Freddy head with a few changes here and there, being tilted to the right and having a missing ear, with the official microphone piece as his accessory. Lastly, here's what he would look like with normal looking eyes. Even if he's just a glorified recolor, I'm still proud of how they came out looking. With the FNaF 2 characters out of the way, I think it's finally time we move on to sister location. Sister Location, probably one of the most controversial games in the franchise. Unlike most, I actually really enjoy this game, mostly because I'm blinded by nostalgia, but let's not worry about that. However, I feel like we can all agree that the Sister Location animatronics are some of the best in the franchise. Something about the janky faceplates moving around is so cool, especially Circus Baby. She would use dual molded legs with some printing for her clown shoes. Instead of printing on the skirt, I decided to give her the official skirt piece. Just gives the figure more detail. This along with some simple arm printing to represent her shoulder pads, as well as a new, really detailed head mold with all of her faceplates. Once again, using the official microphone piece as her accessory. Finally, here's what she would look like with normal looking eyes. Overall, I think this is a great figure. Definitely easier to make than I initially thought. For a simpler figure, next up we have Bidybab. I like to think of this figure as the army builder of the set, as we do kind of fend off against a lot of them during the desk minigame. They would use mid-legs with some printing for their joints, as well as some simple arm printing representing the same thing. This along with a new head mold and a new piece to represent hand unit as their accessory, using a modified 2x2 flat tile with the handle for a figure to hold onto. Lastly, here's what they would look like with normal looking eyes. A pretty simple figure, but I feel like that new head mold brings the whole thing together. Oh boy, who let Scott cook? Like with Toy Chica, I honestly have no idea what was going through his mind while designing her. Ballora would also use dual molded legs with some printing for her fishnet-like stockings, as well as a new skirt piece with some weird little balls sticking out of it. This along with a new arm piece, as she looked pretty weird with the normal ones, and a new head mold for her weirdly humanoid face, using the official microfigure piece to represent one of her mini arenas as her accessory. In the end, I think I did a great job bringing Ballora to life in Lego form. Up next is one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise, Funtime Freddy. Something about Kellen's voice acting just really elevates this already amazing character design for me. He would use normal legs with some printing for his joints, as well as some arm printing representing the same thing. He would use the new Ballora arm piece on the left, as well as a new hand piece for Bonbon. This along with a new head mold to give him that iconic Freddy look, and another official microphone piece as his accessory. Lastly, here's what he would look like with normal looking eyes, making for probably one of the best figures I made for the series. If I ever see Funtime Foxy IRL, it's on sight, bro. I cannot describe how many times they've taken me out in Ultimate Custom Night just because I didn't make it to the show in time. They would use normal legs with some printing for their joints, as well as some arm printing representing the same thing. This along with the official raccoon tail piece to represent their tail, and a new head mold with all their pointy little teeth. Finally, here's what they would look like with normal looking eyes, making for a great representation of this showstopper. For the last of the Funtimes, we have Lolbit, and they're just a Funtime Foxy recolor. They would use normal legs with some printing to represent their joints, as well as some arm printing representing the same thing. Same official raccoon tail piece and all, except they would have the official hook piece on their right arm, using a modified Funtime Foxy head with no eyebrows. Lastly, here's how they would look with normal looking eyes. Again, just a recolor. Still a pretty good one though. Well, there you go. I think that's all the characters. Wait a minute, where did the Funtime figures go? We have arrived at the last character, Ennard. In case you were wondering why this video took so long to make, this is why. This dude alone almost broke me. Like, I had to draw every single wire you see. Still, I can't really hate the guy. Like, as a concept, they're just really awesome. All the animatronics coming together to try to escape using your body. Hate to reuse words, but that is metal AF. Ennard would use normal legs with printing for his wires and eyes, as well as some arm printing representing the exact same thing, using a crazy new head mold for his mask. Finally, for the last time, here's what they would look like with normal looking eyes. Now, it may not have any crazy new pieces, but as simple as it may seem, I'm really happy with the final result. Well, there you go. That's all 12 characters from Five Nights at Freddy's that I was able to turn into Lego minifigures. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider shocking that subscribe button and leaving a like, as it helps out the channel a lot. While you're down there, let me know if there are any new games you'd like me to cover, as I'm pretty burned out on FNaF at the moment. As always, have a great day, and remember to stay awesome and creative. See ya! And hey, if you're interested in more FNaF content, consider checking out the videos listed on screen right now. On your left, you can find my original FNaF movie video. If you'd like to see more movie content, on the right, you can find my other video based on the FNaF movie. As always, take care, and I'll see you fellow Lego enjoyers next time.